We don't deserve to be in the playoffs if we can't beat Plymouth. We were absolute garbage. They wanted it more. Collins can't ever play for us again. But you know what's sake. Welcome back to West Sky Blues Walk. Sorry, we've been away for a couple of weeks due to illness on my part. Great to have you back. We've got Scott, Jay, and Tom back with us. Thank you for not giving up on us. We are still here and we're still fighting, Scott, but only just. We'll talk about that Plymouth game in a second. Delighted to have the three of you back. Ben is, of course, I think, hopefully still stuck on a coach in Plymouth somewhere. We'll get his views on everything in a second. Coming up this week, we're talking about Collins being dropped. We're also appointing our Player of the Season award from our point of view anyway. We're talking about our best away trips this season and the goal of the season he's presenting as well. So tons and tons to get through. Let's start, of course, with today's result. We're recording this on the Monday evening after the disappointment trip to Plymouth. Scott, what on earth happened there?
Not a lot, really. Well, it was one of those games where we've already said that we had something to gain from that game. Didn't turn up, unfortunately. I think from what goalkeeper to centre forward, I don't think anybody came off the pitch with any sweat. I have no idea, but we looked quite not disjointed, but very. Is uncreative a word? I'm not sure. We lack creativity anyway. First 15, 20 minutes, it was all possession based. Can't remember what happened after about 20 minutes, but obviously something did, and it sparked Plymouth into life. And from then on, I think we struggled everywhere, really. Didn't look very good going forward. Didn't defend well from the front. I thought of some poor decision making. We'll probably come on to the goalkeeper, but even leading up to the goals, I think we could have done better to prevent some of the shots, prevent some of their players going through on goal. There's various things I think we could have done, and some of them frustrate me. I don't think we're talent related. We're more communication and a bit common sense for me. But no, we're beaten by the better side on the day. Bullied us off the pitch, if I'm brutally honest. And we sort of lost without too much fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and had it not been for Sheffield Wednesday deciding to have a bit of a go in the second half, you'd be out of that playoff race, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the results went for us. Luckily, that take you back 20 or 30 years, rely on none of the results. Very lucky today.
Although, having said that, our Millwall fans are absolutely desperate to knock Frank Lampard as a West Ham connection, of course, out of this this playoff race. We have got that. Right, let's talk about the main name, Jay. Then that's getting people irate on Twitter. It is Collins. I'll give it to you to talk about if that's okay. People are saying he should never play for us again. Is that too harsh?
Yes and no. End of the day, he's been put in the net because obviously got the injury. He's a good goalkeeper with his feet. His distribution typically is very, very good. But when a ball's crossed in or a shot's taken, not so good, which is a bit of a problem being a goalkeeper, unfortunately. So I personally think we've got Ben Wilson on the bench, who's a much better shot stopper in my eyes, better shot to stop more goals going in, which is obviously very, very key, but it's not as good with his feet. Unfortunately, Collins is just letting too many goals and too many silly mistakes rising, even when he's come in the last couple of games. And we did quite well, I thought, against West Brom. Distribute the ball quite well, commanded the area quite well. No real shots on target from West Brom, which is probably a blessing for him. But I personally think summertime, we've got to cut losses with him and sort of send him on his way a little bit and say thank you for your time. But again, my personal target is to get to the top 6. I don't think we'll be able to get over the line to the Premier League this season. And that is partly one thing is because of Brad Collins. I just don't think he's the player, the goalkeeper to take us over the line, unfortunately.
Lampard will stick with him as well. Lampard's will stick with him 100%.
Let's look at some more social media takes from it, shall we? Tom, this one to you, if that's okay. Rob says Sims, Bidwell, Tats, Latty, Collins, 5 names that need selling this summer if we want any chance of going anywhere. Absolutely schooled today. I hope Lampard is working on a plan B for teams that just put 10 men behind the ball this summer. Hope that kills. It's the hope that kills you with this lot. Do you agree with all of that on there, Tom?
A lot of it, yeah, to be fair. I mean, Tats probably won't go anywhere, just signed a new contract. But Sims today, so poor. I think the whole season's been underwhelming for him, to be honest. Collins, I agree with everything Jay's just said there about him, but he won't get dropped. Latty, I mean, it's such a shame what's happened with Thomas. We miss him massively. Apparently, he'll be back for the Borough game, so that's a bit positive because that it could come down to that game, which I reckon it will, because I don't see us getting anything at Kenilworth Road this weekend. But Latty's just too slow, and there's just so many mistakes in him. Who was the other name on there? Bidwell, was it? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, thank you. I was really confused today when I looked at that lineup at 2:00 and I saw De Silva on the bench for Bidwell. I didn't get it at all because De Silva for the past 2 games has been amazing. He's been absolutely unbelievable, and we've all been singing his praises. And then he just gets dropped. I really don't get it. It can't really be a fitness thing, I don't think, because he didn't play that much. He played about an hour in the last game, and then he came off. So I don't think it's a fitness thing. I don't know why he's changed it. Same with Sheaf on the bench as well. I don't know why Alan started, but I don't know. It's just shocking, really, today. But we've still got 2 games left. Still time to turn it around, hopefully. But I'm not that confident. But I do think we'll see a few outgoings in the summer. Hopefully a few incomings. But give Lampard a full summer and hopefully rebuild, because there are some players that are just not good enough for this club. And it shows.
Okay. Scott, do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think, the goalkeeper, to be fair to him, I don't think he could have done much about the first one. I think he was blinded by so many players in the box. He was caught his near post, which doesn't really help, and he's gone with his feet. I don't think he'd have got down quick enough. The second one, I mean, the first one could have been prevented. I think Sims had a chance to close the fella down and got the bloke went past him far too easily for me. The second goal, there's 2 players, Latty, I think it might have been Latty and Kitchen. The ball goes over Milan's head. For me, someone's just got to shout to him to head the ball instead of trying to bring it down on your foot on the halfway line over your shoulder in the sunshine. That didn't help either. The ball went through, squared it, and I think it's gone through his hands and his legs. It didn't look overly powerful for me. I would have thought he would have stopped it, but disappointing there. Sims, Bidwell, I think he's probably getting on. He's not long signed a new contract either, but I think he'd be second behind De Silva. I thought he would have played today. Latty, I've probably said my piece on Latty that I've never been a fan of him, to be brutally honest. He has played well against Hull and West Brom, but I'll probably counter that with we didn't have anything to do against Hull and West Brom. We had something to do today, and to be fair, none of them stood up for it. Simsy, I've probably said the same before. I don't think he likes playing with his back to goal. I don't think he likes pressing. I don't think he likes being a target man. And to be brutally honest, I don't think he is a target man. I don't think he is a man who can press, and I don't think he's a man who can do whatever the third thing that I said. But for me, he's a man running onto the ball. You square the ball to him in the 6-yard box, I think he'll probably score more often than not. But I think the way we play and the way, Robin said it a long time ago about pressing, I don't think that's his game. His first touch isn't great. For a 6'3" bloke, he don't jump. And it just puzzles me, really, at the size of him. I wouldn't mind if he battered 2 centre-halves for 90 minutes and didn't score all season, but I'd like to mark him myself today in this condition, believe it or not. But I think he's struggling. I just don't think it's a setup for him. So, and like Tom said about Tats, keep him. He's just signed a contract. On his day, he's great. He might just need a little bit more help when we're playing away, whatever that means, whether it's, protection or, 45 minutes, whatever it might be. But I'd keep Tats.
Okay. Stay tuned to the end of the video, because we're going to be giving our thoughts on the player of the season and the goal of the season as well. So get typing in the comments for that, as I know you regularly do. Jay, it's looking like 6 is most likely to be the finishing position, which will mean now that it's Sheffield United. Now, that Friday night game at Bramall Lane, I think was, I remember watching the first half of it, was not your finest. It's not your finest performance. Is it absolutely imperative you actually try and finish 5th and try and catch a very out of Sunderland?
Yeah, yes and no. I personally think we'll finish 5th. Again, I think we'll get a point. I'll be happy to get a point from Luton. I think we'll do Borough on the last day. We're a different animal at home. And also, I think we're much better when teams try and come play us rather than sort of sit back. So I think we'll finish 5th, and Bristol got to play Leeds next. So I think they should drop points there, so we should maybe sort of edge ahead of them. But again, with Sunderland and Sheffield, again, Sheffield, I think, are a fantastic squad, but they've lost momentum. Momentum is very, very key going to the playoff, and Sunderland, again, completely they haven't had momentum for about 2 months now. So I think momentum is a massive thing going into the playoffs. On paper, Sheffield should beat us. They have got a stronger squad team than us, but personally, as I say, I think getting for Coventry this season, where we came from to where we are now with the new manager, etc., everything that's happened, I think getting into the playoff is a massive achievement for us. And then after that is a bit of a bonus in my eyes. Again, other people may see it as slightly different, but also I wouldn't fear anyone in particular going into those games. Again, I personally think we've got a couple of weaknesses. Again, the goalkeeper we've obviously touched upon. Scott said about Sims as well. So I think there's sort of issues we've got which will let us down overall, but I wouldn't say naturally I would fear anybody in that playoff race just because third and fourth, they seem to have lost momentum completely, and fifth and sixth will be going in with a little bit of momentum bar today. So there'll be a bit more of a high and a sort of a bit of positivity around the club rather than the other two teams.
Okay. If it is a Coventry versus Bristol City final, the neutrals are all behind Bristol City. I don't know if you've seen the growth of all the other teams getting behind her, finally getting Bristol City out of this division. But Tom, I wanted to ask you one other thing before we move on. The Manager of the Season awards were announced by the League Association, and they had the top three in there plus Regis Libri at Sunderland. Were you surprised that Lampard didn't even get a whiff of a nomination for this, and should he have done?
Yeah, I mean, I've surprised Manning as well. That was a surprising one with Bristol. But for me, Lampard, I mean, when he came in, we were 17th. I think we were, three? We might have been one. I can't remember. I think 1 point above the relegation. And two, thank you, Scott. We're 2 points above the relegation. He's now taken us up to 6th. I mean, today was appalling. But they had that massive run-in, which was unbelievable. So I do think he was a little bit robbed. I mean, all the managers there are deserving, fair enough to him. The Sunderland manager, I can't remember how to say his name respectfully. He deserves to be up there because they've got a very young squad. But I do think Manning and Lampard have been a bit robbed, but obviously the other teams got promoted, so of course they're going to be up there, aren't they? But yeah, I do agree.
Okay. Right. Just for all of you then, it's our final away trip then this season. All of you have put some miles in, it's fair to say. But we're asking you, what's been your favourite away result or away game this season as you now complete the full set of the 23 by heading off to or walking through someone's back garden as you head to Kenilworth Road.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Jay, let's start with you on this one. What's been your favourite away game that you've been at or you've watched this season?
I think the one I don't think we've been that great away from home in quite a lot of games, to be honest with you. We beat Middlesbrough 3-0, which was obviously a fantastic result. But I didn't think we played fantastically. The one that sort of brings a little smile to my face is the Swansea game, just because of the whole sort of drama behind, just prior to it, about Nicky Matt Grimes. Obviously, the goal from Brendan Thomas-Sante was fantastic as well. Fairly comfortable match that we played. But I think, just because the Swansea fans were so rattled prior to nicking their best player, brought a little smile to my face. So I would say probably the Swansea game was my favourite.
Scott?
I'd agree. I wrote Swansea down as soon as I saw the question. We broke the curse. I think it was the first time in 75 years we've gone away there. Played there, won 3-0, and I think it's probably one of the few games we have played well. So I think for 85 minutes, from memory, we were brilliant against Swansea. We played some fantastic football, probably the best away game that I've seen myself personally, actually live, except for Norwich. I know we lost that one, but yeah, Swansea away for me was the best and the highlight for me this season, definitely.
Tom, you've definitely put the miles in this season. I don't know how you afford it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it all.
You must work very hard.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's got to be Tim Pot Oxford. That was a brilliant away day, that one was. We're going back to the Tim Pot thing. We're going back. But for me, I think the major standout was actually Tats played really well away from home, because Tats away from home is just a different player to Tats at home. At home, he's spectacular, but away from home, he just seems to be so poor sometimes, including today. But he was unreal that game. He scored the winner. The atmosphere was unbelievable. I'm pretty sure that was the day we finally got into the playoffs. So we were all really excited. The sun was beaming. It was just an unbelievable day. I'll just never forget it, really. And 3-2, it had it all, really. Goals, the whole lot. So Oxford away was exceptional. Brilliant.
All right. Cheers for all that. 2 votes for Swansea, 1 vote for Oxford. Let us know yours in the comments if they've missed any. Right then, goal of the season now then. Come on. What screamer, what's been your favourite one that you've watched go in this season? Tom, start this off for us.
I think an obvious one is probably Thomas Asante against Swansea. But if we're not going for that one, which is quite an obvious one, there was Torp's free kick. I think it was against Watford. It was an unbelievable free kick. And also he scored a really good goal against Luton as well, if I remember. So, yeah, probably one of them 3. But obviously Brandon Thomas Asante is like an automatic winner because it was unbelievable.
Okay. Scott?
Yeah, BTA's goal against Swansea sprung to mind straight away. I don't think I'll probably see a better goal in a Coventry shirt than that from that sort of distance. Torp's free kick, the goal against Luton, and the other one, I think you just mentioned Oxford, Tom. If I remember rightly, Tats put a decent volley in the far corner as well to win the game, which was a hell of a goal as well. So, yeah, BTA, but Torp against Luton with his curler at the end to win it 3-2, and Tats to beat Oxford 3-2. Those two were cracking goals for me as well, Mark.
Okay. And Jay?
I'm quite surprised no one's mentioned this. I'm quite happy you didn't mention it, so I can take a good look myself. Jamie Patterson against Pompey. Absolutely fantastic goal. Just obviously the technique on the goal, the last minute winner, what it meant to keep us in the playoff race, because there's pretty much every game at the moment is a must-win game. But I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Coventry boy scores his first goal in front of Singer's corner. Absolutely phenomenal. The whole it was a perfect crescendo to the night, I thought. And it was just amazing that Jamie Patterson scored that amazing goal. So I think BTA is probably the obvious choice just because of the technique and the distance from it. But I think Jamie Patterson, just for the drama of it all, as they've been a Cov lad and the timing of it, and sort of nicking the 3 points that we probably didn't deserve in that match was the one for me this season.
Oh, it was 3 days after that one.
Cracking goal.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Talk.
All brilliant shouts, these. Right, let's see if we get a universal agreement on this final one then, which, of course, is our Player of the Season award. So, which is the standout guy. Now, we're not after the one which we know the club are going to give, which you can pick, but who for you definitely deserves the award for consistency and stand-up performances. Let's go to Scott first.
Oh, I think I've got it down to 2, but I think there might be the ones that the club talk about. But
that's fine.
I think, I'm going to go for either Rudoni or Rudini, as he's known as in the in the club, Harry Rudini, or the keeper Dovin. I know he's been injured for the last couple of games, but he's kept us in so many games, in my opinion. And, I can't remember whether we've won most of them or drawn most of them or whatever. But I think consistency, I can only remember the odd 1 or 2 blips, really. But I think consistently, for me, if I was having to pick somebody other than Jack Redoni, I'd go for the goalkeeper myself. I think he's been brilliant this season. Very, very good.
Tom?
Brad Collins. No, on a serious note. I'm probably going to go for... Obviously, Redoni's an obvious one any day of the week. But if we're talking more like underrated, I'm actually going to go... Obviously, Dobbin's a great shout, Scott. 100%. I'm going to go Bobby Thomas for me. There's a few mistakes there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's perfect. But he has scored us a lot of winners. I remember QPR, a lot of headed goals, especially for a defender. And I think we've just really missed him recently since he's been injured. Like, I can't wait for him to be back in that defence because we just look... The defence is so shaky without him. So, for me, Bobby Thomas, underrated. But as an obvious one, Redoni, because what a signing. Like, exceptional player. He's going places.
Luton
on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll echo what the guys have said. I think Jack Redoni, even when we weren't playing well, you could tell he's just such an intelligent player. He's finding little pockets of space. And he was doing really, really well. Even before Frank Lampard came, we had Robbins. He played left wing back at one point, actually, come to think about it. So I think, he's been really good throughout the whole season. But as Tom said, I think Bobby Thomas is probably an underrated one for me. I think he's, especially probably since this year in 2025, maybe around sort of Christmas, he's really sort of stepped up as a centre back. His passing not fantastic at times, but I think he sort of cut out those silly little mistakes, the silly little passes, and he sort of stood up a little bit. Got a lot of goals for us, not even just goals that are sort of winning us games and getting us points, which is absolutely fantastic. It's almost become a bit of a leader at the back, a quiet leader, but he's becoming a top centre back in my eyes. Which I was a bit sort of skeptical about. So I think Rodoni is the obvious sort of answer for us all. I would say just because he's been great for the whole season, but Bobby Thomas will be a close second. And as Scott said, Doven has been fantastic as well, especially when he returned, got his number 1 shirt back as well.
Okay. Not sure we've sorted who got that there, but we'll think we're here with Rodoni throughout of it. Well done, well done, Jack. Let us know in the comments. Brilliant, you guys. Thank you very much. A couple of little nuggets before we go. Leicester, Scott, are heading back down formally now. Any words to say on that?
Leicester's going down and Coventry going up. I think that's the song, isn't it? That's the song as it goes.
That's the song.
They're the words.
Love it.
Just got to get it singing. We were singing it the other week, I think.
Again, we don't go up. We get to play them next season and beat them 3-1 again. So that's a positive.
Perfect.
And score prediction, please, Tom, for Luton.
1-0. I'm going to go draw. 1-0. But it's going to be such a tight, scrappy game. They know how to play at Kenilworth Road. Our record there is not great. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 or 2-1 Luton. I hate to say it. Yeah. Okay. Not confident after today.
And finally, J. Mark Robbins has now kept Stoke City up only just. Happy for him?
Yeah, like obviously the guy's a legend of the club, so happy that he I think with Mark Robbins, he needs time at any given club, so it's good that he sort of kept him up. They seem fairly happy with him, which is great. So yeah, happy for the guy. I don't really care, to be honest with you, but yeah, it's
Tim Pot.
Yeah, Tim Pot Stoke. Yeah, it's good that he deserved some kudos for the job he's done there, because that's a tough gig at Stoke. We all know it. Not the best run club probably behind the scenes. So yeah, he's done well. But yeah,
they got Bobby Thomas for that winner against him, man.
Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
We shall let you three go. Great to see you again. Join us next week as we're looking ahead to the final home game of the season, which of course is against the Borough, which fingers crossed might all be done and dusted by then. See you after the Luton game. Good to see you again. Do just a quick like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. See you in 7.